Welcome to FMI for My Innovation. This video will get you started with your own broker tracking site, so thanks for watching. For years, FMI has proudly supported coordinators and agents. Based on user feedback, we rebuilt FMI from the ground up, using a slick interface called Twitter Bootstrap. Watch as I dynamically resize from a laptop to a tablet to a phone, and you'll see that everything in between looks great. If your state already has a broker site but you don't have access, you must ask the administrator of the site to email you an invitation. If you don't have your own site, be sure to contact support@fmii.com. Head to fmii.com and enter your username and password. First, you need to select what your goals are. For example, I've been meeting with BDCs who say they just want a home for all their broker details, or they want to track the activity for brokers and cases. Or finally, it's a way to keep the hierarchy in the loop of the big picture and the smallest details. Once you set a goal, it'll be easier to reach that goal using FMI. There are a variety of ways of adding information into FMI. We can import a list of your brokers here under Tools, Import, and send in your broker list if you want us to take a look before you import it by email at support@fmii.com. You can also add brokers to your site by clicking on the plus sign here next to brokers. I'll do that, and let's add a broker. First, I'm going to name the broker. Then I'm going to type a description. And now I'm going to tag him. So I'll make him a broker producer. We're going to categorize our broker. On the right are custom fields, so we could put in some specific information if we wanted to keep it organized. And on the left are what we call search labels, which are checkboxes. Now I'm going to skip all of the first ones because they all say the word case, and that's actually how you tag your cases. But at the very bottom, you'll see we get to ones that say broker, like broker workflow. This was an initial contact. And broker type, he's local. I don't know his commission package, so I'll leave that unchecked, and he's unassigned to a region. Finally, at the bottom here, we have a chance to assign other people to see this broker. At this point, I'm logged in as demo admin, and you can see that I'm here as the owner. If I want to give somebody else access, like Scott and I are working on this, I'll give him read and write access as well. Anybody that's an admin does not need to be given access to a broker because they'll automatically see it. But this is where you would select the people who are specifically working on this broker with you. On the right, non-member access refers to all the people in your site that are not listed on the left. And because we've made this private, which is by default, nobody can see this broker unless you specifically are given access. Finally, we're going to create the workspace. If I did have the contact information with me, I could click here where it says Create Workspace and add contact info. So I now have a page for Ronald Jones, the broker. You'll see at the top all of the things I've selected are listed here. Where he is in my broker workflow, what type of broker he is. Later I can select, for example, his commission package, and you can see that I have not assigned him yet to a region. Also note that this broker by region search label is simply a tag. By choosing somebody, it's not going to give anyone access to this page. If I want to assign this to an RSC, I would have to mark their name here under RSC by region. That's how I keep it organized. But separately, I would also want to give access to that RSC. That's done here on the right under Members and Access. So Members and Access on the right is how you show who can actually access this particular broker. So if I want to give them access, I would click Edit, and you'll see the same list that we were looking at when we added the broker. I can remove Scott's access here by making it blank. At the bottom, I can simply click Save. Now on the right-hand side of the page, there's other information that's really important. For example, the contact info. I'm going to go ahead and add new. And when I was adding the broker, if I had selected add the broker and put in the contact info, it would have taken me to this screen automatically. So here I can plug in some information. And I'm going to pop in an email address as well. I can also plug in a website or other information and then simply click Add Contact Info. You'll notice the information shows up here on the right side of the page, and these links are convenient because if I click Map It, it takes me to this location. I can also click on the email address. Not only does it open an email that it's going to send from me directly to the broker, but it will BCC back into the site so I keep a record of it. So the system is not creating you another email address. It uses your emailing program to keep a record. As we head down the right-hand side, you can see below Members and Access is our search labels, and there's an edit button if we wanted to change those. And then there's custom fields. If there's specific information you want to store. If you want to edit it, simply hover over it and click here on the word edit. That way you can fill in information and click save. You'll see that information stays stored here on the side of the page for future reference. In the center of your page for your broker is a post box, and this is where all the main information will go in. So this is how you'll add a note. Putting in the note here, I can also tag it with a topic. This was a first broker contact. All the topics here on the left in this particular template refer to broker, and on the right refer to account. You can change them on the admin tab. Finally, you decide who you do or don't want to get an email, and you click add. This note goes in here at the bottom of the page, so you have it in the latest activity for future reference. Also, when I run an activity report, this will be listed as one of my first broker contacts. I can also add a file. So for example, if I do a proposal, I can attach the proposal here. I can select people that I want to alert with the proposal by adding the file. You can also add an appointment to FMyI, whether it's you or anybody on your team. It will email whoever is attending and put it on their own calendar. It will not take anything from your local iPhone, Outlook, Gmail calendar and push it into FMyI. It only pushes from FMyI to you. Again, you can tag what type of appointment this is. So if it's a broker contact or contract, etc., and that way it'll show up also on your activity report. Another valuable feature here in the post box is under Remind Me, and you can choose when you want to get an email reminder. It's way better than sticking sticky notes everywhere. So literally you just come in here and say, I need to be reminded in 2 days or 2 weeks or 2 months, and just add a note. Once you click add, that task is now at the bottom under latest activity so that I can get an email reminder back to this page. Let's go back to the home page and see how the broker workflow helps you to manage your business from a high level. So this particular broker is in my initial contact phase. And when I go to the home page, you can see I've got 2 people that I've had initial contact with. The site snapshot on your home page is a great way of seeing a high-level view of your business. So for example, the broker workflow shows you where all of your brokers are in your process. You can customize this on the admin tab here at the top right by clicking on search labels, which is right here in the center. Once you click on it, I'm going to scroll towards the bottom and you'll see I've got one called broker workflow, and I can literally drag and drop these up and down or click rename or add one to the workflow if I wanted to add a step. Also on the home page site snapshot, you can choose other things such as case by broker. In most states, specific brokers provide a majority of the business. And if you want to be able to print out reports to show a broker where you are with their cases, it's great to tag the brokers who bring you the most business. To do this, again, go to the admin tab, which is here at the top right, and click again on search labels. You'll notice here it lists case by broker. You can literally rename these by clicking the word rename and just typing in what you're looking for, or you can add new ones by clicking the blank. If you don't have a section called case by broker, no problem, just add it here by typing in case by broker, and when you add it, it will probably pop in at the very bottom. Just drag it using these little arrows, and you can drag it all the way to the top of the page. You'll also notice to customize your site, we've got cases by region. Also, if you don't have this in your template, feel free to go to add a new search label group and add cases by region. And then you can add all of your regions and an unassigned category if you like, again by typing here in the box underneath the section. This is a great way to tag your regions in each of the cases. You can do that also for brokers by region. So I've scrolled to the bottom, and here you can see that each of my RSCs will be listed. Again, I might have brokers that are not assigned to a region, and I can put them into unassigned. If you want to change the name of your regions, click rename, and to add new ones, just put the cursor here in this box. I'll go back to the home page now. Now that we've got the broker side down, let's look at the cases. If you want to track your cases inside of FMyI, there's a few ways to add them. You'll see that there's a navigation bar here on the left for cases, and I could click the plus sign, and that would allow me to add a case manually. If, for example, a broker gives you a list of cases, like a spreadsheet of a bunch of businesses that they work with, you can simply import by going to Tools and click Import. You can grab that spreadsheet. Once you import it, each row will make a new contact inside of FMyI, so you can start working on those cases. But let's go here under Cases and click the plus sign. This is how you would add a case manually. This is a lead from a broker. I can put a description if I like. And now I'm going to tag this going down here on the left side. This is specifically something you'll rename to list those brokers in your state that are key to growing your business, that are giving you a lot of accounts. I could fill in items here on the right-hand side, such as number of employees. And if I wanted to assign this case by a region, which I do, I'll check off which region that is. You'll also rename these RSC1 and RSC2 to your regional coordinators as a way of tracking it. And then here I can tag where I am. Let's say there's an initial contact. It's a new case. You don't have to select a probability if you don't want to, but for those of you who do, I can tag it with my probability. And you'll see all of the other selections that you can use to tag this particular case. Once you get down to the section called broker, these are specific to adding a broker. So we'll just ignore the remainder here of search labels. And at the bottom, where it says we can set up members and access, this is where we would actually give access to somebody on the team we're working with. So for example, if I'm working with Shane, I'll just choose Shane and make him an owner of this as well. That's because I want Shane to be able to add other people on who are going to help us. On the right-hand side under non-members access, this means anyone in your site that is not listed on the left, it will be private, meaning they can't see it. The people that are listed on the left, where it says here members and access, these people are the ones you specifically want to give access to. Now, if you're missing somebody on the list that you want to add here, you have to first invite them to your site. Once you invite them in, you'll later give them access to this page. Now, if I have the business card and I want to key in the information for this business, I can click Add Contact Info here with creating the workspace. However, I don't have that information, so I'll click here on Create Workspace. By the way, you'll notice here at the top corner, this drop-down has a quick access to invite people. This is how you invite the regions and districts and other people you want to give access to in your site that's not currently in your site, so that you can then give them access to this particular company. So next, go here where it says Members and Access and Edit, which is the button here on the right. And again, you'll find their name now on this list because you've invited them in. Even if it's just an email address, you can still select it, because that means once they join, they will then be given access, and then you can just click Save. So this is a case, and this case is connected to RSC2, which you can see here. And going down the right side of the page, you can see again the Members and Access section where it shows you all the people who have access to see this case. For everyone else, it's private, other than administrators. And then search labels, you'll see here going down, are all the ways we've tagged this particular case. And finally, custom fields are all of the free text fields that you can use. So for example, I keyed in the number of employees was 1,050. You can edit that here by clicking Edit. All the information here on the right will spit out on our search page when we generate a report. The post box works the same as it did for a broker. I can go under Post a File. So for example, if I get a PIF and I want to add that file here, I can browse for the file and tag it as a PIF. Or if I land an appointment, I can click here on appointment, put in all the details. This will not only put on the page for the actual account, but it will also get put on my FMyI calendar, and it will push to any attendees. So anyone that's listed here as attending will automatically get an email that puts this on their calendar. The FMyI calendar will not take things that are in your personal iPhone or Outlook calendar and push them into FMyI. But anything you put into FMyI and select the attendees will push to Google Calendar, iPhone, Outlook, or other calendars. If I want a reminder to follow up with this group, but I don't want to add a task with all of the details, I can do a quick remind me. And remind me, I can just choose remind me in 2 days. I can say what I want a reminder of, and I can click add task. That will show up here at the bottom under latest activity, where I'll build a feed, just like your favorite social networks, all of the interactions we've had with this particular account. This particular account is connected, as you can see here on the right, to one of my key brokers that's listed in my search labels. However, if this was specific to a broker that I didn't do a lot of business with, I can connect the broker's page inside of FMyI to the case page by linking them together. And here's how you would do that. You would go to the top here where it says linked workspaces and just click here on the add edit button. Simply type in the name of a broker, let's say Jones, and I'll click search. It found me Ronald Jones. I'll just mark it off and I'll click add link. Now if I go back to my Dear John Letter Company page, this is the account, and I can see here it's linked to Ronald Jones. When I click there, I'm on Ronald Jones's broker page, and you can see here under linked workspaces, I've got a link back to my John Deere Letter Company account page. I would use linked workspaces as a way of connecting your brokers that don't provide a lot of accounts with their accounts. However, any broker that's going to provide you a lot of accounts, you're going to want to list them under search labels, which you can see here, search labels edit. And when you're keying in the account or you import it, you'll want to tag the broker to the account. We know that most of the accounts in a state are connected to a few key brokers. So whether it's 5, 10, 20, 30, if you've got those all listed here under case by broker, that's the best way of tagging the brokers who are providing you a lot of business. And when you're back on the company page here on the right, if there's just a couple onesie twosies and you want to link the broker to the account, just do that here on the right under linked workspace. Also, if I go back to this broker's page, so I'll click here on Ronald Jones, and now you'll notice that I'm inside of my broker section here under broker producers. If I'm with Ronald Jones and he gives me another case, I can also go here on the right where it says linked workspaces and click add or edit, and I can actually add a new linked page. By clicking on that, I can make sure that I put in here that it's going to be a case or an account, and I can copy the same people who are a part of the broker to this particular case. Click continue, and now you'll notice it's the same as if I had clicked the plus sign next to cases, but this time once I'm finished it will be linked to Ronald Jones. So now when I go back to Ronald Jones, you'll see that there are 2 companies that are linked to his page. I can click on Space Business, and then I can use these page statuses at the top to select where is this case in the process. So let's say it's unassigned to a region, but we are at the initial contact phase, and my probability is 50%. I can then add another note, and I can leave check the people who need to be notified of whatever I add, so that as I add the note here to latest activity, they'll also get an email. At the end of a week, if you want to capture your activity, you go to Tools and then Reports. Under Reports, the activity report will show you all of the posts. So for example, if I want to see everything that's been done since the beginning of this year, I click Generate Report, and it downloads my activity report. You'll see it lists your work by topic. So here's my first broker contact. I had 1 of them, and then it would list 1 row per contact. So since there was one, I've just got one row and it shows me Ronald Jones. It says that I had a meeting. It shows me my name, demo admin, as the person who posted it, and it shows me the current status of this particular broker. So each week you can run this report and it'll show you all of the work that you've done based upon topics. If you don't check the topic box, then at the bottom you'll notice something called other activity, and that's where it will list all of the other activity that wasn't separated by topic. If you want to edit the topics, you simply go to your site under the Admin tab, Site Setup, and select Topics. That's where you can choose to keep, edit, change the order of, or delete any topics that you're not interested in reporting on. Now let's get your team involved in the site. To do so, we want to invite them, and there's a shortcut here with a drop-down that says Invite People. When you click on that, you'll notice here you can add the email addresses. We recommend inviting in all of the people at your state office, maybe your territory, or through the broker channel, the folks you work with that need to see everything in as administrators. You can paste in multiple email addresses, but you're going to invite in all of the people that you want to have the same access level. General users would be, for example, for your regions or districts. And down here you can put them onto a team. For example, let's say there are some folks through the territory office or through the broker channel that get involved with your largest cases. You can form a team called the 500 Plus Lives team and add that to any of the cases that are over 500 lives so that you're collaborating together. Here where you see welcome message, you don't have to change this, but you can, and then you just click here where it says invite people. There's a little workflow for people. So first you invite them, which you can see here. Then once you've invited them, here it says manage invitations. These are the people you've invited that haven't accepted yet. And finally, you've got manage people. And this is where you can see all of the people who have access to your site. This section of the site is only available to the administrative level. So only the people that you allow in as admins can access the settings here in this site. Also on the admin tab, there are some common settings. For example, site name and mission. This is how you can change at the top here the name of the site and the description of the site. Also in the center of the admin tab, site and workspace image. You can see this is the background image that goes behind, and this here is the icon that goes up at the top if you want to put in your logo. This covers all of the basic operations for the broker site. We look forward to answering your calls. Please reach us at 888-369-4266, extension 1. If you don't catch somebody on the phone, leave a detailed message with exactly what you need help with, and we'll be certain to get back to you right away. Also, if you're interested in importing any spreadsheet of a list of leads or any brokers, simply email that to support@fmii.com with your username and your contact information. We'll be glad to take a look. It's best to save that as a CSV file. That way it will remove all of the extraneous formatting and be in one tab with one column header at the top of each row, and that'll get you the best import experience. If your site doesn't look similar to this, make sure you contact FMII support. We don't want you to be frustrated. And if you have an FMII username and you log in but you don't see your broker site, just contact FMII, because with one username you can access all your FMII sites. Well, that walks you through the whole broker site. We're excited to support you and your team.